Hello, I'm Tammy Boyce, and I work at the Institute of Health Equity at University College London, more commonly known as Michael Marmot's team. The first word that comes to my mind is fairness, and the second one is justice. And it's, I'm not British, I'm Canadian, but we have a very similar health service. It's based on universal provision. So if you have a system that offers universal services, why do you have inequalities in that? And, there's bound to be people who will do better in any universal service. Not everyone's going to get the same test score on an exam, but there are unwarranted variations, to use NHS words. And we'd like to get rid of those. And so when I think about, what wakes me up in the morning is that it can be better than this. It does, those inequalities don't need to be there. So I guess I think I'm helping to contribute to making the world a fairer place for everyone. Well, I guess I was pretty central to it because we came to Cheshire Merseyside, asked us to come in, and I worked quite closely with Jo McCulloch and other colleagues and champs, but she was, I think I need to call out a couple of people because I think Jo and Sharon McAteer in Halton were both key to helping develop the Altogether Fair strategy. We needed, we have worked in a number of different systems across England and now in Wales, and you need really strong partners on the ground to help you develop this. And we did it during COVID. So we held a series of workshops, and also I talked to a number of different people in the system based on those workshops and just conversations about trying to find out what was going on in Cheshire and Merseyside. So together with my colleagues at the Institute of Health Equity and local people, we developed the Altogether Fair strategy. Well, the report we wrote ourselves at the Institute of Health Equity, and out of that came a 5-year plan. And then there are a series of indicators based on that, and that's where Sharon McAteer helped us a great deal. So it was a joint effort, but there was certainly a backbone there helping the system to create that strategy. Well, the cost of living crisis is, I have a huge scarf on and a woolen jumper, and it's cold, and I'm not putting my heating on, and I can afford to put my heating on, but I'm mildly stressed about putting my heating on, but I can afford it. So I guess, we have no idea what's going to be, life will be like in June, because we're going to have a huge number of people who will have been living in fuel poverty, many of them for the first time. And there will be lots of people who have thought about living in fuel poverty, and what will that do to their mental health? I was in a presentation earlier this week about that Kidney U Care had done with people on dialysis, and all of them worried about fuel poverty, and 60% of them said they worried about it all the time. So I think that kind of stress is going to, what does that doing to our cortisol levels? We can't isolate it, but I think what we may see is that level of, what we saw in COVID was the isolation, and feelings of loneliness got worse, and our mental health got worse. And what is, I just think we don't know what's coming. So if you Google Altogether Fair, you'll get, and Institute of Health Equity, you'll come to our website, and you'll also find the Greater Manchester one there. We've just published Lancashire and Cumbria. We've got Luton. So there's a number of areas. If you're watching this and you're from Cheshire and Merseyside, go look at those pages. But if you're from, another part of the UK, in particular England, there's a number of other reports, and also internationally. So you can go there and look.